Well, good morning. You find us here in Brittany. We've finally arrived in Brittany. We've come from Mont Saint-Michel, which is in Normandy, and we're now in a place called Lannion, which is about 20 minutes from the coast. A very important river port in this region of northern Brittany, which I'll probably tell you a little bit more about later in this video. This morning we're going to trek off into Lannion. Good news on that front is that it does follow the course of a river, so we'll be walking alongside the river. Hopefully we'll see some birds along the way. I'll let you know if we do. Lannion, we're going to do a bit of shopping and we'll probably grab a French coffee. From there this afternoon we're thinking of going out to a local nature reserve, and I'll tell you more about that later in this video. So come on. This is the river Lier, which runs past our campsite Les Deux Rives and on to Lannion, and then further on to the English Channel. We've already seen a grey wagtail and a few pigeons, but we're hoping to see and photograph our first kingfisher on this French adventure. And it wasn't long before we saw and photographed our first kingfisher. So we've made it to the town of Lannion. Beautiful little spot. So the river runs through the town. Quite a few bridges, several bridges for cars and pedestrians across the river. We're here for a couple of days, only here really because the next campsite, which is on the coast of Brittany, North Brittany, wasn't available, so we popped in here for a couple of days. But a lovely little spot. We're going to go and find a cafe, get some coffee. We're in the centre of the town. Wife's happy because I think it's market day. Let's have a look round. It's not the biggest market we've ever seen, but good produce nonetheless. So while we were walking through the centre of town, an old couple came up to us and started talking and telling us there's some more birds in the town. He couldn't speak English, I can't speak French, but I can speak Wiltshire French and seem to get by. So we're on our way now to this park. Hopefully there'll be some birds and we'll be able to take some shots. Okay, let's see what we find. Well, no birds in the park, but we did see a flock of black-headed gulls along the river with a solitary little egret feeding. With so few birds in the town, there was nothing left to do but to search further afield, so we headed off 30 miles south to the Reserve Naturelle de Plounéran. The reserve is located near the small town of Plounéran. It covers an area of approximately 207 hectares and was established in 1986 to protect its diverse range of wonderful wetland habitats, including peat bogs, ponds and marshes. The reserve is home to a variety of plant species, some of which are rare and protected. The peat bogs in particular host unique vegetation. These plants are adapted to the acidic and waterlogged conditions of the bogs. The reserve also supports a rich array of wildlife, including many bird species. It's an important habitat for waterfowl, waders and other birds, making it a popular spot for birdwatching. Notable species include the Eurasian teal, the reed warbler, common snipe, water rail, kingfisher, reed bunting, marsh harrier, Chetty's warbler, curlew, little grebe and the grey heron. The reserve also supports amphibians like the common frog and the palmate newt. Alas, like most reserves, it's never at its best in August, and there was very little to see during our visit. We saw a few linnets, a robin, a cormorant, some gulls and a grey heron. In fact, the visit was only saved by the migrating hirundines, and in particular a small flock of sand martins. So I cranked up the shutter speed to 1/4000th of a second to attempt to catch a few decent shots of these fast moving and erratic flyers. That's it, and thank you for joining me on another one of our birding adventures in France. The reality is this is more of a holiday with my wife than a birding trip. Birding expectations are pretty low at mid to late August because birds seem to be so scarce at this time of year. So why do we see fewer birds in August? Where do they go? The scarcity of birds in August is down to many factors. The first factor is the molting season. Now, many birds undergo molting in late summer, during which time they replace their worn-out feathers with new ones. Now, molting often makes birds more vulnerable to predators and less capable of flying long distances, so they tend to stay hidden in dense foliage, making them less visible. The second factor is post-breeding dispersal. After the breeding season, in the spring and early summer, many birds leave their breeding territories and spread out to find new food sources. And this dispersal can make birds less concentrated and more spread out, reducing the number that you might see in any one particular area. The third factor is seasonal migration. While autumn migration usually peaks in September and October, some birds, particularly early migrants like shorebirds, may already be on the move in August. This movement could mean fewer birds in certain areas as they begin their journeys to their wintering grounds. The fourth factor is heat and midday inactivity. August can be very hot, and many birds are less active during the hottest parts of the day to avoid overheating. They might seek shade or remain inactive, making them less visible. And the fifth factor is food availability. As summer progresses, food resources like insects, berries and seeds become more abundant in different areas. Birds might spread out to exploit these food sources, making them harder to see in any one location. All these factors combine to lead to fewer bird sightings in August compared to other times of the year. And these might not be the only factors. If you know of other factors, let me know. Drop me a line, drop me a comment in the section below. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video today, and if you liked it and you want to see more, then please like and subscribe to my channel. And I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Bye for now.